On today's show, we look into the start of a new tradition coming to the Hill, led by the fashion design class. And we look into the robotics program and their start to competitions this year. These stories and more on this edition of Hilltop News. What's rockin' Rock Nation, and welcome back to another episode of Hilltop News. Live from Studio 1060, I'm Ashley Sallaway.
And I'm Brandon McVay.
We've got a great show in store for you today, but first, Brandon is going to catch you up with all things going on around the Hill. Brandon?
Thank you, Ashley. Coming up first is the annual Prosper ISD Fire Truck Pull, where teams of 10 compete to see if they have what it takes to pull a 75,000-pound fire truck. The money will be benefiting Prosper ISD's Special Olympics.
The Special Olympics is where we compete with different kinds of schools, and we just have a fun time, and the partners, they get to explore. Like our recent event is going to be track, so they get to do all the field events and stuff, so yeah.
The price is $10 per person or $100 for a team of 10. The event will be held Saturday, April 9th. Last Thursday was the talent show. There was a lot of tough competition, eventually leading to a tie between Conrad and Lipka Devara.
It's an amazing feeling. When they announced me as a winner, I felt like collapsing. Half of me knew that I was going to win, but other half of me is like, there's so much people here that have such great talent that you might not even get that shot, but I didn't want to be pessimistic or anything.
I didn't expect it, really. It was kind of shocking. I love to perform in front of crowds, so it was really exciting.
In second place was Christian Shihan, as well as Michaela Coleman and Sundu Tatino, who won the Audience Choice Award. Rock Hill Theater is returning Tuesday night at 6:30 in the auditorium for their final public showing of their one-act performance, The Sweet Science of Bruising. All tickets will be sold at the door for $5. Now, there was a lot going on the Hill last week, and there will be a lot coming on this week. So let's see what's happening on the Hill.
Another show that is happening on campus this coming week is the Metamorphosis Fashion Show. Annabelle Resendez-Murillo reports.
As the new 9 weeks begins, so does the new annual tradition on the Hill. The Metamorphosis Fashion Show is a new event that showcases the creations of our fashion design students on campus.
So we are putting on a production that a lot of high school and even college students don't get to experience, and I feel like this gives our kids a real world experience and practice for what they would be doing if they do enter the fashion industry.
The handcrafted pieces in the show are more than just a nice outfit. For the student designers, their creations represent specific themes and cultures.
So my inspiration, my overall theme, is classic rock. And so I have a Stairway to Heaven outfit, I have an Elvis outfit, I have a Green Day dress, and a Red Hot Chili Pepper dress.
The Metamorphosis show was said to be a campus tradition. However, it was not a possibility last year due to COVID restrictions.
So this is our very first fashion show here at Rock Hill. I've been with the district for 6 years now. I've put on fashion shows, or my students have put on fashion shows over at Prosper High School, but we haven't had one at Rock Hill yet. Last year, due to COVID, we didn't put on a fashion show, but this will be our inaugural fashion show, so we're very excited about that.
With its creativity and diversity, the Metamorphosis show is sure to be a valuable tradition on the Hill. For my Hilltop News, I'm Annabelle Resendez-Murillo.
The first annual fashion show will be held this Saturday in the auditorium at 7 o'clock.
The storm system that pushed through Texas last Monday produced several tornadoes, including an EF2 tornado in Sherwood Shores by Lake Texoma. Donations to help the community rebuild may be held or may be made through United Way Grayson County. While wildfires have been ripping through the dry plains of Texas, the Texas A&M Forest Service has said that there are 13 active fires in Texas. The biggest of these are in the Eastland Complex fire that has claimed 54,000 acres.
The robotics team had their competition last Saturday. Paula Bokemeyer looks into the robotics team, how they did that, and the awards they brought home.
Spending hours of work on robots, the robotics team takes it to the next level by competing in Fort Worth and Irving against other schools trying to showcase their work. Preparations for that start early on.
The robotics start actually in the beginning of January, first Saturday of January. They give us the challenge, what is it the game consists, and we have 6 weeks to build the robot. In order to build the robot, we have a lot of brainstorming and see what ideas we have, what are the points that we're going to go after.
No matter if it's the robots climbing or throwing balls, the students all pitch in together to come up with ideas. Everybody has their own task and part to contribute to a fully functioning robot. Together as a team, they try to get their robot to win some of the multiple awards.
The Chairman Award is one of the best awards you can get at a competition, and it's given to the team that has done outreach, that has influenced other people to join the STEM field and become engineers. We ended up winning the Creativity Award. So for that award, I believe the judges look for a design that stands out, something that's not like every other robot.
In the end, it's not just about winning awards for the team. It is working as one group and creating something that takes time, effort, and passion to make it as perfect as it can be.
But everything that you have been taught, everything that you learn from physics, math, engineering, now you put it in practical use and you actually build a robot. So at the end you say, I built that, all right?
The robotics team ended 12th in qualification matches and captain of the number 8 Alliance. They are looking forward to more success. For Hilltop News, I'm Paula Bokemeyer.
If you have any questions or are interested in joining the robotics team, you can talk to Mr. Elias. Boys and girls soccer started off their playoff action this past week. Connor Fuxa is in studio to give you a recap on both those games as well as everything else Rock Hill Sports. Connor?
Thank you, Ashley. Varsity boys soccer was in action last week against Reedy in their first game of the playoffs. It was a tough matchup for our boys, having to pair up against a much more physical team. When the final whistle blew, unfortunately, the scoreboard read 3-0 Reedy, ending the season for our boys. The season, however, was nothing for the boys to hang their heads at, ending overall with an 18-5-1 record, as well as being named the district champs. Varsity girls soccer was also in action last week against Lone Star in round 1 of the playoffs. The game got out to a quick start with Avery Wheeler knocking in the first goal to give the Blue Hawks a 1-0 lead. The game went back and forth with 5 minutes remaining, the score being tied up 2-2. However, once again, Avery Wheeler came through and scored when the Blue Hawks needed it most to give the girls the 3-2 win, making them the bi-district champions. Track and field was also in action last week, competing in the Keller Invitational on Thursday, as well as some of our athletes competing Saturday at the Jesuit Shiner Relays. Starting off on Thursday, track and field saw Sarah Compton place first in the high jump, Nolan Macklin placed first in the 100-meter as well as the 200-meter. Sam Knight and Parker Sines placed first and second in the 400-meter dash. Chase Moncrief placed first in shot put. And finally, boys 4x400-meter taking home first to finish off the night. Moving on to Saturday, the team carried their success, claiming 3 gold medals, 4 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals, with the girls team taking home the win for the entire meet. Big performances from our girls 4x100 and 200-meter relay setting new school records, and the girls 4x400-meter relay setting a new PISD record, as well as Jordan Edwards claiming 2 of Rock Hill's 3 gold medals. Also a big shout out to Gavin Heckey, who traveled down to UT Austin to compete at a national event. Gavin ended up finishing in 5th place while there. Baseball was also underway this last Tuesday, facing off against McKinney North. The boys dominated the Bulldogs, finishing off the game with a 7-2 win. The boys also had a game on Friday against Wiley East. That game came down to the wire, but unfortunately our Blue Hawks took a tough loss 5-4. The boys, however, did rebound quickly, coming out Saturday firing on all cylinders when they faced off against Little Elm. Home runs from Ty Townsend and Ryan Rojas led the baseball past the Lobos to win 14-13. Now softball also had a monster week, starting off with a 7-1 win over Denison last Tuesday. They never took their foot off the pedal when they traveled out to Princeton Friday night. Big performances from Grace Burlidge, who pitched 7 innings while only allowing 1 run and pitching 15 strikeouts, as well as Veronica Coley, who went 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs, leading our Blue Hawks to a dominant 14-1 win. Now as baseball and softball go into district play, Alexander Jones looks into the importance of the managers and how they help their team be a hit.
Not up at the batting mound, but still on the team, the baseball and softball managers help the team swing farther into their season through the essential support they provide.
I kind of act as like the bridge between coaches and players to make sure that everybody is on the same page. She helps out a lot, helps the coaches a lot. Anytime they need something, she's always there. Sometimes they don't even have to ask her, like everything's already done.
Not only do they help the coaches organize the team's operations, but the passion for the game that the managers share with the players also helps build the supportive atmosphere in the dugout.
Adrenaline every time there's a line drive. It's that feeling of satisfaction when you're watching the guys go out there, and you've been working your butt off, and you're seeing the results after working with them.
Although their presence helps the players and coaches, the participation comes full circle like a home run to return a welcoming team spirit to the managers themselves.
These girls are my everything. The coaches are such great role models. I don't know what kind of person I'd be being around this team every day.
The reason I do it is because these guys came into my life at a time of crisis. I joined them up out of nowhere. Didn't expect much, but it grew into this blossoming thing that I feel like I owe them a life debt for, coming in and saving me at that point in my life.
Even though they may not be physically playing in the game, there is no doubt that the managers are a key part of our athletic programs that contribute greatly to protecting the Rock. For Hilltop News, I'm Alexander Jones.
Baseball and softball are now in full swing along with many other sports, so let's take a quick preview into what teams will be in action around the Hill this week. Well, that's all we have for today's show. For Hilltop News, I'm Connor Fuxa.
I'm Ashley Sallaway.
And I'm Brandon McVay. Keep rocking, Blue Hawks.